Welcome to my channel. We upload 3 to 5 times a week. Don't miss out on our scary horror stories. Hit the subscribe button so you can get the latest video when we upload. Today I have a bone-chilling horror story about the Henderson family and their ill-fated purchase of a seemingly idyllic home. But as the family soon discovers, their dream home is hiding a terrifying secret that threatens to consume them all. Join us as we delve into the depths of their harrowing experience with a malevolent poltergeist that will leave you on the edge of your seat. With gory details and a shocking twist ending, this story will have you questioning what lurks in the darkness just beyond our world. Brace yourself for a journey into the heart of terror as we explore the horrors that await the Henderson in their haunted home. Okay, let's begin. The Henderson family had been searching for a new home for months, and when they finally found a large, 2-story house that was within their budget, they felt like they had hit the jackpot. The house had a large front yard, a spacious living area, and a big backyard that their children could play in. However, as soon as they moved in, strange things began to happen. It started with small things, like misplaced keys and items moving on their own, but then escalated quickly. Doors would slam shut, windows would shatter inexplicably, and the family could hear voices whispering in the dead of night. The Henderson tried to ignore it at first, thinking it was just their imagination, but the activity grew worse. One night, the family was gathered in the living room when the furniture began to shake violently. The windows rattled, and the air grew thick with a menacing energy. Suddenly, a loud, guttural growl echoed through the room, and the family felt a blast of icy air rush past them. The Hendersons were terrified and started to realize that something was very wrong with their new home. The children would wake up with unexplained bruises, and the parents would have terrifying nightmares that felt all too real. As the days went by, the activity grew increasingly violent. The family's possessions were thrown around the house, and doors would slam shut on their own, trapping them in their rooms. One day, while the father was in the basement, he felt something grab him and pull him down the stairs. When he finally managed to climb back up, his arm was covered in deep scratches, and his clothes were torn to shreds. The family tried to seek help from various experts and paranormal investigators, but no one seemed to have a solution for their predicament. The Hendersons were beginning to feel hopeless and trapped in their own home. One evening, the family was sitting down to dinner when they heard a loud banging coming from the front door. They assumed it was just the wind, but when they went to investigate, they found that the door was covered in strange, ancient symbols that seemed to glow in the dark. Suddenly, the air grew thick with a menacing presence, and the Hendersons realized that they were not alone in the house. They could hear a low growl coming from the darkness, and the children started to cry in fear. The father tried to grab his phone to call for help, but the battery was dead, and he couldn't find his charger. The mother tried to comfort the children, but the fear was too great, and they were all paralyzed with terror. Then, without warning, a door to the basement flew open, and a dark, shadowy figure appeared at the top of the stairs. The figure had glowing red eyes and sharp, pointed teeth, and it seemed to be beckoning the family to come closer. The Hendersons knew they had to get out of the house, but as they tried to run for the front door, they found that it was locked from the outside. They were trapped, and the figure was getting closer and closer and closer. Just as the figure was about to grab the mother, something strange happened. The mother's hand suddenly began to glow with a bright, pulsating light, and the figure recoiled in terror. It shrieked in pain, and the entire house began to shake violently. The Hendersons could hear a chorus of screams coming from the walls, and blood began to drip from the ceiling. They could feel the ground rumbling beneath their feet, and they knew that something terrible was about to happen. Suddenly, the walls of the house began to crack and crumble, revealing a dark, gaping hole. The family could hear a deafening roar coming from within the hole, and they realized that it was the source of all the terror and evil that had been plaguing their home. The Henderson had no choice but to run towards the hole, as the figure and the violent shaking of the house threatened to consume them. As they approached, the bright light from the mother's hand seemed to grow stronger, and the figure backed away further, revealing more of the terrifying, otherworldly landscape beyond the hole. The family found themselves standing on the edge of a great abyss, surrounded by jagged rocks and swirling clouds of darkness. The ground beneath them seemed to be alive, pulsing and writhing with an unearthly energy. Suddenly, a massive creature emerged from the abyss, towering over them with tentacles of writhing darkness and teeth like jagged knives. The family was frozen with fear, unable to move as the creature loomed over them, ready to devour them. But then, something miraculous happened. The mother's hand erupted in a blinding burst of light, and the creature recoiled, shrieking in pain. The light seemed to have the power to banish the darkness, and the family saw the creature slowly begin to fade away into the abyss. As the creature disappeared, the hole in the house began to close, and the shaking stopped. The family looked around in amazement, realizing that they were safe and that the terror that had plagued them for so long was gone. However, as they looked back at their home, they saw that it was now a twisted, gnarled wreck, a shadow of its former self. The walls were blackened and charred, and the floors were covered in blood and debris. The Hendersons realized that they could never go back to their old life, and that they would have to start over somewhere else. As they walked away from the house, the family felt a sense of relief and hope for the future. But they also knew that they would never forget the horrors they had experienced. They would carry the memory of the dark creature and the terrifying abyss with them for the rest of their lives, a reminder of the power of evil that lay just beyond the boundaries of our reality. Thank you for joining us on this terrifying journey through the Henderson family's encounter with a malevolent poltergeist. We hope that this story has left you with a sense of unease and a reminder of the power of evil that can lurk just beyond the veil of our reality. Remember to always be wary of the unknown and to keep an eye out for the signs of danger, as you never know what may be hiding in the shadows. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more bone-chilling tales of horror and share it with your friends if you dare. Until next time, stay safe, and may you never have to face the horrors that the Hendersons endured in their haunted home.